Howdy y'all, Galator here, and today we're going to be reading Empire's Fall. Now Empire's Fall is the sequel to the Twin Empires, and it's going to take place after the War of the Ancients, so we can go back to calling it Episode 7. I'm going to be reading this from the Inn in Gadgetson, so off we go. Aside from their shadowy origins, it is clear that the Night Elves came to power soon after their discovery of the Well of Eternity. Despite the Trolls' attempts to keep them from expanding their territories, the Night Elves built up a mighty empire that expanded rapidly across primordial Kalimdor. Wielding fierce magics never before imagined by the superstitious Trolls, the Night Elves had little trouble doing what the evil Akir never could do: topple the two greatest empires in the world. The Night Elves systematically dismantled the Trolls' defenses and supply chains. The Trolls, unable to counter the Elves' destructive magics, buckled under the onslaught. The Night Elves proved to be every bit as cunning and bloodthirsty as the savage Trolls, incurring the latter race's eternal hatred and disdain. The Gurabashi and the Amani empires fragmented, with only a few short years. Eventually, the Night Elves were burned by the arcane fires they had sought to control. Their reckless use of magic had lured the demonic Burning Legion to the world. The demons crushed much of the Night Elf civilization. Though there are no records to indicate that the Legion attacked either Troll civilization, it is likely that battles took place across the breadth of the continent. At the end of this terrible conflict, known as the War of the Ancients, the Well of Eternity imploded. The resulting shockwave shattered the greater landmass of Kalimdor. The center of the continent was blasted beneath the sea, leaving only a small group of broken, single continents. Thus, great chunks of both the Amani and Gurabashi empires still exist in the present-day lands of Quel'Thalas and Stranglethorn, respectively. The Aegir-Akir empires of Ajol Narub and An-Karaj have also survived in present-day Northrend and Tanaris, respectively. Both troll civilizations recoiled from the vast destruction of the primordial world they had known. The dauntless trolls rebuilt their ravaged cities and set about to reclaim some of their former power. Alright, so jumping back into the lore, this one's really cool because we actually already know about all the events leading up to, say, the War of the Ancients and when the Burning Legion came to the world, but we already heard about it from the Night Elf perspective. From the Trolls, they had no idea what the fuck was going on, so all they know is that the Night Elves, who have been, completely demolishing them with their arcane magic, thanks to the Well of Eternity, as we know, they bring the demons to the world, and they get completely crushed. So it's kind of cool. I like this idea that the Trolls are just, these ancient civilizations out in the forests, and they just see this epic battle on, cosmic proportions going on right next door. It says they might have fought them, but they weren't, the key members of the conflict. Another interesting thing on page 1, it says that we're not quite sure how the Night Elves came to be. Previously, we found out that the Night Elves are from the Dark Trolls that settled near the Well of Eternity. So this book kind of wraps around the War of the Ancients books. We start off with where the Night Elves came from, how the Night Elves completely screwed over the Trolls, and then how the Night Elves fucked up and destroyed the world, pretty much. Yeah, I think one of the cool things about Vanilla WoW lore is it's not just coherent between each perspective. So hearing all this play out from the Troll perspective, there's still uncertainties. So the Trolls aren't 100% sure where the Night Elves came from, even though they used to be a troll race. The Trolls don't know why the War of the Ancients is taking place, just that, oh shit, there's demons here now. So I like that you have slight, not contradictions, but conflict between different narratives. So I don't know, I think this is a really cool thing that modern WoW lore doesn't exactly have. It's very good. Modern WoW lore is very interesting. I still love watching Nobel's videos, but it's all the same. It's every single person seems to have the same perspective. I think it adds a little bit of authenticity when there's little differences between how each person tells the story. The only thing that I think was a little weird in this book is, so you had the Twin Empires, and they had been fighting the An-Karaj, and it was essentially there was a winning battle. The Trolls were able to push back the forces of the old gods and fragment it. But then the second the Elves come along, they're able to just demolish the Twin Empires. And it seems weird on a power scale that the Night Elves were that much more powerful than the old god civilizations. I'm not really sure about that, and I don't think that's exactly how it would stack up in modern lore, because the old gods are kind of like the pinnacle of the big bad guys, right behind Sargeras. Alright guys, this was a shorter video, but thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Tell me if you'd like any other specific lore videos. I'm thinking about doing a chronology of Vanilla WoW lore video where I actually have a timeline and we line everything up. But until next time, au revoir.